Good morning, guys. Happy Saturday. Well, not a big surprise here. Washington kicked us in the teeth Friday evening, Friday night, trying to pass this on through in the dead of night so nobody pay any attention to it. Hi. Sorry, guys. Your little sneak didn't work. Not getting past me. So, in the middle of the night last night, right about midnight, the House passed the 1.2 trillion, 1.8 trillion, 5.5 trillion, whatever you want to call it, infrastructure bill. Okay, they're claiming it's 1.2 trillion, but when you add everything up, it's 5.5 trillion. How does this affect us? Oh, pretty good. Okay, let me kind of go through a little bit of what's in this thing. This ought to make your blood boil, as it did mine here at 6:30 in the morning. Infrastructure bill. There actually is some infrastructure in this, believe it or not. $40 billion for bridges, $11 billion for safety, whatever the hell that is. I don't know what, buying orange cones. $39 billion for transits. Again, nice being vague. $66 billion for Amtrak. That loses money every year anyway. $7.5 billion for e-vehicle chargers. $5 billion for clean buses. $17 billion for ports. Not like they're working anyway, so hey, let's throw $17 billion at it. $25 billion for airports. I wonder how much of that's just going to get spent on Newark. $50 billion for water resilience. The hell is that? $55 billion for drinking water. I'm assuming California is not going to be a participant there. $65 billion for broadband, i.e. 5G. $21 billion for environmental remediation. Okay, whatever the hell that means. And $73 billion for green energy. Those are the ones that you could actually say might be infrastructure. Let's talk about some of the other stuff that's in there. Amnesty for 7 million illegals. That sounds like infrastructure to me. 87,000 new IRS agents. Yeah, that sounds like infrastructure too. This is the one that's going to kick you in the teeth, guys. A natural gas tax, which will instantly increase the cost of electricity by 30%. Now, like I've said many times, I hope to God you got food put back, because your electric bill's going up right in the winter. Cool. And your money's going to have to come from somewhere, so it's probably coming out of the food budget to pay off your electric bill. All right, there you go. So how in the world did this pass? There's my question, okay? Because remember, we've had this battle between the communists and the moderates on the Democrat side. Well, the communists, AOC and Cori Bush and Ayanna Pressley, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, they all voted no on this. Okay? So there weren't enough Democrat votes. So what did we get? We had 13 Republicans decide to vote yes on this. Want to know who they are? Because if they're in your state, you better raise hell, all right? John Katko from New York, Don Bacon from Nebraska, Jeff Van Drew from Jersey, so much for being a Republican, Fred Upton from Michigan, Adam Kinzinger, he's retiring, he didn't give a shit because he knows he'll lose, from Illinois, Don Young from Alaska, Tom Reed from New York, Chris Smith from New Jersey, Andrew Garbarino from New York, Nicole Maliotakis from New York, Brian Fitzpatrick from Pennsylvania, Anthony Gonzalez from Ohio, and David McKinley from West Virginia. Those 13 rhinos need to be primaried, need to be completely thrown out of Washington because they just voted on something that is going to send inflation through the freaking roof. Your electric bills are going to go up. We got a whole bunch of wasteful spending. I mean, go online and look, okay? You can't, this is how stupid this is. This bill is 2,700 pages, okay? The average person reads 55 pages an hour, okay? It would take 49 hours nonstop to read the entire bill. Congress was given the bill Thursday night. They voted on it Friday night. So there's no possible way anyone read the entire bill. Now, granted, you have staff. You read section 1, you read section 2, you read section 3, and tell me and give me a synopsis to it. The problem is things work off of each other. So nobody's read the whole thing. We also don't have a Congressional Budget Office review on this as to what the actual cost is going to be. So I said, you go online and look. Some places say it's 1.2 trillion, some places say it's 1.8 trillion, and then if you add up all the running parts in the damn thing, it's 5.5 trillion. Guess what? There's only 1.5 trillion in new taxes. New taxes, like we need more taxes. So Biden, who said the cost of this is zero, no, all right? Because if there's the cost of it zero, just new taxes, okay, it's a cost to me, I'm sorry. But anything, if it's 5.5 trillion, guess what? That's $4 trillion added to the national debt, guys. Okay. This is the problem. Eventually, we are going to go poof, and there's no way to pay for this. Okay, we're borrowing money to pay for something that's mostly pork. Okay, I want to close with this. I want to let you watch Steve Scalise at the on the floor of the House last night. Okay. Hear it from his mouth, not from mine. Have a good Saturday. Pinball out.
Of course, we just got the text last night, over 2,300 pages. And as we've been combing through, I'd like to point out a few pieces in this bill. Let's start with a natural gas tax. President Biden promised that anyone who makes less than $400,000 a year won't spend a dime, will not pay a dime in new taxes. He even whispers it into the microphone. The only problem is he breaks the promise right here in the bill, a tax that, according to the American Gas Association, will increase household electricity rates by 30%. And by the way, that's low-income families that pay that tax the hardest. Broken promise by President Biden right there. Then you go down and you look at amnesty. It's been talked about. Millions of additional people will get amnesty in this bill. And it comes at a time where President Biden is negotiating. Initially, he said he wasn't, and then the White House had to go back up and say the Justice Department is negotiating $500,000 checks to people who came across our border illegally, and then they're going to give amnesty to millions more people. Estimates are 7 million more people. Can you imagine the flood that will come over when they hear that you can get $500,000 a person if President Biden gets his way? Then you go down the line. There's more, unfortunately. Let's look at, we'll comb through, IRS agents. How many of us have our phones ringing off the hooks with people calling saying, please add 87,000 more IRS agents to the rolls? Not one of us has probably gotten that call, yet they put it in the bill. They call this infrastructure. They call this equity, whatever they want to call it. It's an army of IRS agents that are going to come for your bank account.
Gentleman's recognized. 1 minute.
They're going to be combing through your bank account. And why? Because they've got to generate hundreds of billions of dollars to spend on more inflation-inducing spending. That's right, according to this Penn Wharton account. You're going to have over $4 trillion of spending with $1.5 trillion of new taxes. By the way, that's $2.5 trillion of additional debt, even though the president says there's no cost, just $2.5 trillion of debt. But these IRS agents are going to have to account for over $200 billion to find money from your checking accounts. That's what they're trying to do at dark of night. We started the morning at 8 a.m. We're here after 9 p.m. starting to get into the details of this bill. No wonder they don't want a CBO score. No wonder they want to do this by dark of night. This is going to induce more inflation that's hurting families all across America. Listen to what the voters of Virginia said. Stop the this madness. Defeat this bill. I yield back the balance of my time.